to answer your question, I don't consider myself a jazz drummer, a gospel drummer, or anything of that sort. I just express myself to the rhythm, the harmony, and the beat and the pulse of whatever is being expressed at the time. But then you start to kind of categorizing yourself and put yourself in a box. First time I started playing the drums, I can't even remember. Like, I think I came out of my mother's womb playing drums. I can't remember. All I know is, like, when I used to ask my mother that raised me, her name was Jane. She was saying you started playing drums like around two or three. And then I would have like these little animals, like I would put the little animal in front of and be kind of like directed environments, kind of like playing with it, and and I have like the boombox on, like tape or CD at the top, and the boombox would be like just sitting right there, and I'll be sitting on the floor, and I have like phone books. And I'll be playing drum, I'll be playing the phone books along with, the boombox and the music that was coming out. It was gospel music, of course, because you couldn't play anything how the else have been house unless you wanted to get like a whoop in it. That sounded like that. Or get kicked out the house. I had a pretty interesting childhood.
I was always in church. My father, actually, before my father became pastor, my grandfather was the bishop of
Cudrup in the DC jurisdiction. So I was going to church, or maybe about 3 to 4 days out of the week. Growing up, they would say, the church boy.
Some of you gonna say that God gave you that much deliverance. See, that's the one thing about faith. The Lord gave us a faith that come from here. And we gave it to the Lord, and we have several testimonies that God bless.
The earliest I can remember playing drums in church was, night service, praise and testimony service. Oh, I would love to play this song. They would say, somebody needs to catch on fire, catch on fire, catch on fire, fire of the Holy Ghost. So it was like right there. Somebody needs to. And they be like going in shouting like, oh, hallelujah, catch on fire. And then, it was very soulful. That's all I can, the songs were very soulful. And, it was a really unique experience. I'm glad I grew up around that. And that is my foundation, church.
Twins Jazz is a jazz club on U Street where they will have jam sessions. They don't have them anymore. That's kind of whack because the jam sessions there do be more pretty fun. Anyway, so the pianist, the guy that was playing piano at the time, and he still plays around a lot now. His name is Sam Prater. I was like, yo, Sam, man, I wanna, cause I was like real thirsty. Like, I wanted to just get better and better at, just playing swing. I was like, man, what do I need to do, man? I want to just, what would you suggest? And he's like, man, we can come up to UDC and just come up there and check out the music. Pretty much the drummer that was there.
He went to his car one time, and I was like, you want to get on drums? Alan Johnson was like, oh, okay, come on, let me get on drums, Let me see what you want to do. So, I sat in with the big band, and they had these charts, and I'm not familiar with charts because growing up, I would never, in church we didn't have charts, in the marching band we didn't have charts, but maybe for some of the symphony stuff we had charts. But he would say just swing and just follow the hits, so I would be looking at the sheet music, like 1 and up to 8 and up to 8 and so just But most of the time, to be honest with you,
I would be using my ear and just hearing what, the band is playing and just kind of like just going with that. And it went well.
what threw me for a loop and why I kind of like stopped going to UDC was when my father passed. He passed, and that just kind of like just messed up my whole. Just kind of messed me up for a good minute. For a couple of different things, like my sister and I were trying to figure out where we were gonna live, and we gotta make this. I had to start paying rent. I had to get me a job because I gotta support myself. Like I don't have nobody even to right now just to like fall back on. Be like, yo, dad, yo, mom, can you look out for me? Because both of my parents is gone. So I had to, I was up at school, but I had to make sure that I can have money in my pocket for food and that I won't be homeless. As if it wasn't for that music, and just playing drums, I would sometimes I'd be on drums, mad. I'm like, oh my God, just be playing drums. That was kind of like my therapy right there. I think, it was my therapy.
Can't tell you exactly when I met Trae, under what circumstances I met Trae. There was just one day that I noticed a drummer with a bald head who I didn't know, and I was introduced to him by Luke Stewart. My relationship with Trae just kind of happened. We talk sometimes when I see him, and both express admiration for each other. He thinks I'm an old cool dude, and I think that he's a young cool dude. So we kind of laugh about that. You can hear genius or see it or read it in a poem or a painting. You can see it. But a lot of recognition is determined by the marketplace and by the people who control the marketplace. Miles Davis used to call it that thing. And Trae has that now, where he goes with that, how he develops that. Because I suspect that he's a lot self-taught, a lot of studying with other musicians, because he grew up in Fort Washington, but acknowledges the fact that he was born in Dothan, Alabama. I've been to Dothan. It's down on the water. In the South, you can hear things because the closer we were to slavery, the more African we were. In Alabama, particularly with his mother, being a pianist and what have you. A musician like Trae has heard things that he's heard, and that comes out in his playing.
because sometimes some artists don't really trust your musical integrity to a certain extent. But I'm fortunate to be playing with some artists that do, such as Jamal Moore, James Vernon Lewis, Jennifer Mill, Tamika Jones, Aaron Myers, and just, tell you to execute the music how you hear it. But, at the same time, stay within the context of the music and, have a conversation with, the other musicians musically.
They're all socially conscious musicians. Not all musicians are socially conscious. Some musicians can play great music, but they don't have a damn clue about what's going on in the world. And sometimes you wish you hadn't even asked them because they're so conservative. But not with Luke and Trae and Aaron Martin. I would ask them about how things like put your music in context of the continuing struggle of black people to be free in this country. Because that's what our music has always been about. It's always reflected our conditions, our state of being, what was going on. But it also was, as Emil Cabral would say, that culture is not only a product of history, but it's a determinant of history.
At a stoplight, and then he slowed down and pulled behind me and pulled me over. He said I had a broken tail light, which I actually didn't have a broken tail light, but it was just kind of awkward and weird that he would pull me over for no reason, just off the fact that I'm assuming because he made eye contact, and a black man, then
Dedicated to 2nd Street. It was one thing we must love and must learn is love and unity and self-kind. I dedicate the suite to all the African males and females specifically has been massacred in the past 2 or 3 years. Too many names to name. And we're all aware politically what's going on in Ferguson, Missouri. We must not forget what's happening right now. So we just dedicated a meditative suite to all those who have now became part of the ancestors. May the soul and spirit translate in peace.
Just finished the hit at Sankofa with Jamal Moore, Jerome White, Organics Trio. It was a very beautiful spiritual experience. I needed it after going through all this chaos in the news. It was good for my soul, very healing. Give thanks. And I'm out.
How would you say you've grown over the past year?
Wow. I would say being more conscious of who I am as a person in general, and not being worried about what other people would think about my playing or who I am, and trying to play for other people's validation or living for other people's validation. So just having that type of a mindset is helping me grow, because I'm still growing.